Hey guys, welcome to JTV Extra. I'm Sandra Younger. I'm going to be your instructor for this really interesting hand-woven bracelet. And I tell you, this is probably the trickiest and most difficult thing that I teach. So if you are up to the challenge, then stick around. And if you want to get yourself maybe some leather, maybe you can follow along with me, because I think that would be really, really helpful just to get the idea of the way this feels in your hand. I'm just like letting you guys know that, because it honestly, I mean, every time I try it, I literally have to sit there and like remember how to do it. It is insane. Like, just, it's so tricky. But anyway, if this is your first time here, welcome to our show. You could leave questions down below and ask questions. And the heart button, you can hit the heart button if there is something that you like that I say. And don't forget, if you have not heard about Brilliant Cash, this is an opportunity for you to earn money while you shop. So if you're a first-time purchaser, you will automatically get $40 into your JTV account. And I mean, it's not, I don't even know how to explain the account, because I know that sounds like intimidating, but you know, when you go anywhere like online and you buy something, then, next time you go back, they have your information. So that's basically like it is. So if you buy something else, you'll automatically have $40 that you can add, subtract from your next purchase. And on your birthday, you get $20, the anniversary of your first purchase, $20. And the Sparkle Ambassador Refer Friend. Now that's really cool, because if you refer a friend, you get $25, they get $25. So that's pretty cool. And 1% back on all purchases, 2% back with a preferred card. And if you're a returning customer after 365 days, you get, what was it? I missed that one. Oh, $30. Oh, so you get, so if, you might want to check your JTV account in case you haven't purchased anything in a year and you are due your $30 credit, which you can use on today's like the products on today's show, because the leather that I'm using is on today's show, and it is like the best because it's so subtle. It just feels so good. It's perfect for this lesson. But let's go. Let me tell you about the products on today's show, and then we'll do my favorite part. You guys know it, the customer show. Okay, let's see what we have today. Okay, that's it. My favorite tool of all time, the Knotty-Do-It-All. We have our big board and our large board, and let me show you. I'm going to do a quick video. I'm just going to show you like real quickly what you can do with this. And this is, oh my goodness, what does this have going on? I'm measuring out of 19 inches of leather. And this one has moose knots and coil knots. So here I'm putting my pin and my clip an inch apart, which is my standard procedure for a moose knot. But instead of this one being at the end, making them to where they're going to be like in the middle, because see the that bail, I have a knot like on either side, but it's not a regular coil knot. It's a moose knot, but I just kind of like push it down, and so you come in and let's see, I'm getting there. I'm pushing that through. Ooh, there I go. But now I'm going to tighten it. I'm going to pull that down, give it a good squeeze, and then I string on the bail and the clasp, and then I put the clasp in the fold. So when I make my second coil knot, I mean moose knot, then it's going to be inside the bend. And so let's do that. Very important. And then you take your peg and then you wrap. I mean, I know a lot of you know all about this, but just in case you don't, and right now, like I think I mentioned earlier, I'm using 19 inches of leather. So if you need to make it like longer, then I think you would just add 1 inch. And so what I'm doing now is I'm centering those two knots. So I'm going to put those loops in a peg and just pull them down and get them nice and centered, because the next two knots that I need to add are going to be coil knots. And those will be on the ends, because see how the loops on the end are kind of big. But to fix that, I'm going to take some about 5 to 5.5 inches of leather, and I'm going to make a coil knot on each side. But one nice thing about the board is that oh my goodness, it just helps hold everything so perfectly. I mean, you could just I mean, if you can envision it, you learn a few of the techniques that I teach, and there isn't anything that you cannot make. I mean, you could turn this tool into a loom. You can do like multi-strands. Like normally for a multi-strand, you'd need, even like a double strand like this, you'd need a hardware. Like you'd have to glue it or crimp it. But the way that I show the construction of, most of the pieces that I make, it doesn't require any hardware whatsoever. As a matter of fact, I rarely ever use any kind of end cap in my jewelry. And this the Knotty-Do-It-All, I mean, we've been selling them now for 15 years, and I can honestly say that it is one of the most trusted products for professional jewelry designers, because it's well made. It's so intuitive. It just gets the job done. It looks fantastic, and it makes everything just so much easier. So what I'm doing now, I'm just flipping this bracelet over so that way I can make the same coil knot on the opposite side. But the important thing to keep the knot in place is that you have to put that drop of glue, and then you tighten down. And then the last thing you do is you come in and trim off all the excess. And it just looks really, really cute. It's quick, it's easy, and it looks really, really, really well made. So we have both the big board and the large board. So in the large board, I mean, you could just do so much more. I mean, it is insane. Like even the little board, there's just so much you can do. And then let's see. Oh, we've got the fluorite. That, you know what? I think we've got the. Let me see what we have here. I think it's the leather. Yes, that's what we have next here. Okay, the leather that I'm going to be using today is the turquoise and the iris. This is a 1.5 millimeter leather cord USA leather, and we have the seafoam bolo cord up there that comes in the kit. But each of the spool has 25 meters. But one thing I really liked about this leather is just it's real supple, which makes it perfect for this project, because it could be rough on the hands, but having that supple leather just makes it so much nicer. And let's see. Oh, I just love fluorite. Fluorite is probably one of my favorite beads. But so there's like different. There's the rectangle one, and I was thinking, because if any of you know, Laura Lee. She makes really, really good use of the rectangle beads. I mean, she uses like maybe 3 of them, and then she changes up the technique, and it's just, her work is just phenomenal. And then we got the coin and the heart, which not the beautiful hearts, but the ones that I really, really liked was these multi-fluorite. They're about 12 to 16 millimeters long. And that bracelet I ended up making, I used last week's lesson for evenly spacing knots. And I used, just in case you're wondering, because I've got this big obsession with that multi-fluorite, because it's got that clarity that just, it's like candy. It will fit a 24 gauge wire, because, it wouldn't fit the 22. And then, I tried the 26, and the 26 just seems, kind of flimsy, but the 24 gauge, absolutely perfect. And, the cord, the size of the griffin cord that I used here is the number 3. So if you want to make something like that, griffin number 3 worked for this. Let's see, next. Oh, the antique silver Indonesian inspired tube bail. Okay, there are 4 styles, and that's the one that I used on that little video that I just showed a couple of seconds ago. These bails are really nice. Some holes are bigger than others, so the holes range between like 3.5 millimeter to about 5 millimeters. So they're a nice size. And as you can see on the right-hand side, all the holes are forward facing. So just in case you're wondering, but look at the different designs, really, really nice. And let's see, I think that those are all the products on today's show. So we got the fluorite, the leather, and the boards and the bale. So brace yourself, guys, because it's going to be a very, very interesting lesson. Wasn't that like so cool? Okay, one thing I want to mention about the Griffin number 3 and those fluorite beads. And I might be able to show it at the end of the show, like if we have a little bit of time, but you will need to, okay, here was the problem. The beads fit on the needle, but they wouldn't go over because you know how those needles, they're like this, and they kind of got the little thing, and then it's, those of you that are familiar with Griffin, you kind of know that it's like the cord's like twisted on, but it wouldn't go over the needle. So what I had to do was replace that needle, boom, with a leadered needle. So you got to kind of do it at your own risk. But if you put on some like those like things, those magnifiers, and you come in with a very like tiny pair of like wire cutters, you can get that needle off, and then I'll replace it with a leader needle. And I'm not kidding. That makes such a big difference, because there are so many times when you know that if it wasn't for that needle, that bead will go on the cord. And I kid you not, the leadered needle is the answer to the problem. Anyway, my favorite part of the show, let's do it. Whoop, not that one. Wait, hang on. Let's get back over here. This one. Okay, so our first bracelet here is from Rhonda, Colorado. Beautiful opalite. I love this bracelet. I love anything white. You know, you may have seen on my website, I'm always talking about how I just love Riverstone, and this the color combination is just like, it's just so, I don't know. It seems so like Middle Eastern, or I don't know, but I love it. Thank you so much, Rhonda. And next we have, oh my goodness, Christy, Alaska. Oh, it's so, so pretty. Girl, I don't know where you get your design ideas, but this is incredible. It looks like there are wire wrap beads, the leather, the macrame, the coil knots, the macrame slide knot. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Christy, for sending this in. It just really made my day. It's got the sea glass. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. And next, oh, guys, I've got several pictures of these bracelets because I had to get so many angles because these are so cute. Look at, okay, Laura Lee made these, and I have no idea. I was trying to investigate, and it looks like the paws have 2 holes. I don't know, but these are so, so cute. Check it out. So this, I don't even know. Is it macrame, girl? I don't know. But I love these. Look how adorable they are. Oh my God. I'm trying to like see what's going on in between those bicone beads that are in between the paws. Oh, they're so cute. And then, okay, let's see. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, looks like, I don't know. All I know is it looks really, really cool. Is it macrame, Laura Lee? I cannot tell. But whatever you did, I just love it. Right, guys? These are so, so cute. Ooh. Wow. And then Rhonda, Colorado. Okay, this was that stitch that I think I taught a couple of shows ago. And it looks really nice. You know, I was talking to Sarah in North Carolina, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I told her you couldn't do this with leather. And I guess apparently I had done it with leather on the show and just forgot. But it actually does look good with leather because it looks like chain. That is so cool. So thank you. And the button, I like that. It's like an anchor button, and I don't know. I just love anchors. They remind me of my dad. Anchors, cool. And Christy, Alaska. Okay, this is a bracelet, but I think she said that she left the back long enough so that she could wear it as a necklace if she wanted to. But I think this looks so cool. Look at the different. It looks like you combined a cord in the middle with like a beading wire for those really thin, tiny hold beads. Look how pretty that is. And then it's got it looks like leather, like in the middle there with the coil knot. Very, very nice. And then, oh my goodness, Rhonda, Alaska. Okay, it says handcrafted Krobo tribe sea glass African American bead, from 1945 with bone beads. Oh, I love the color combination. You picked just the right shade of leather to go with the pale green with the bone bead. Look at that clasp. That's a really cool clasp, by the way. Let's see what else. Oh, look at the green. Very nice choice. Wow. I would totally wear this bracelet. I think it's so pretty. And then last we have Christy Alaska. Oh, I love hot pink. So let's see what you have here. This I think is braided in the middle, and then it's got the macrame. And I think that's the pendant is agate, if I'm not mistaken. I really, really love I love bright pink, beautiful, beautiful. I just like all your little details. You are just so cool, Christy. I just think, I love this necklace. So guys, that is everything for this week's slideshow. Remember, if you have anything you want to send in, send it to theknotty-do-it-all@gmail.com. And if you can photograph it on a white background, that would be great. If you can't, that's okay. But definitely get them in at least like the Tuesday before the show. All right, so back to me. Wasn't that fantastic? You guys are just so talented. It just makes me so happy. Okay, guys, did you do that? Did you practice? Okay, let's do this. Okay, so the things that you need really aren't, it's not much. So let me see. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Let me get to my little cheat sheet here. Okay, right there. Hand woven leather bracelet. Okay, so for the one I'm going to teach today, you need about 70 inches of 1.5 millimeter leather. And if you want to make it an 8-inch, use about 75 inches. And I do have the measurements also in centimeters down there. So if you do centimeters, you can see it's 178 and 190. Okay, and the other things that you'll need, a button, a waxed jewelry cord in 0.5 to finish the end, because you know a lot of times I fold the leather over, and then to put like a sliding knot, which is like optional, some faux leather. Okay, so that's what you need. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, I'm gonna like take this a step further because these two fingers, we're gonna be using them a lot. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna like mark them, and I think it'll really help. Like if you're just starting to learn this, because it's a lot of like finger like moving. Okay, so the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a button. So I'm going to do that with the moose knot. So let me grab a button here. So let's do this. Oh no, Pat. Is anybody else having like connectivity problems? Is everyone good? Okay, so I'm gonna like, when I do my moose knots, you know, usually it's on like shorter material, but so what I do is I'm gonna like offset by 4.5 inches. So I'm gonna come over here and just come over about 4.5 inches. And then with this, I have the longer strand on top, and what I'm going to do is make like a moose knot to connect the button. So let me just move this. Uh-oh. Yeah, sometimes when you get that button on, it's a little bit, but it's doable. You just got to like work around it. Let's get this about there. And all right. So you guys know the routine, pin and clip 1 inch apart for the moose knot. So I'm going to put this here and then clip and make my moose knot. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Okay, so there's 1 and 2. You can make your moose knot bigger if you want, but I like the just that triple ringed moose knot. So you just put your leather right through, and I think all of you know the moose knot, don't you? Hopefully. So you just pull it down nice and pretty. And then you just got to push it up. And one trick that I came up with, it's such a little trick. I'm not even gonna like pretend like it's such a grand trick, but sometimes when I was like pulling on the moose knot, my button would get all crooked, but this for some reason just makes it like go on like a lot straighter. I don't know why. It's just a little tiny thing. Okay. So now for the nitty gritty. Okay, guys, let me just get everything out of the way. And when you start this, okay, cords to the side. Okay, you guys ready? All right. So what I do, on this hand, I hold it, make like a gun. See that? Boom. Put the cord in, and then only on the left side, you're gonna wrap it around your like pointing finger. So you grab it, wrap it around, and then see these two fingers, you're gonna like grab, wrap, and then come over here and then grab it here, because then on this side you need to grab it. Okay, this one goes around your pointing finger, but this one is going to go around your thumb. So you're going to grab it and then go around your thumb like that. Okay, are you guys like totally confused now? I'll do that 1,000 times if you need me to. I'll do it again. Okay. Gun, boom, boom. Grab it. Goes around your finger, and then you use your thumb and your middle finger to like grab the base. And then on this side, you're not going to like do this. You're going to grab it, and this one's going to go around your thumb. And you're only going to do this weird thing with the index finger and the thumb one time, because once you start weaving, it'll be exactly the same, but that's just for the beginning. So, okay, what you do is you grab this, see the one in the front here? You're gonna grab it, and then see how I did that? I'll do that again. Let's see. I don't see any comments, so I think maybe, is everyone okay? Are you just like thoroughly confused now? I'll do it again. Okay. Boom. See, I see it now. I get confused. So yeah, grab it like over. Like yeah, go like this. Boom. Grab it from the top. I want to do it step by step. Like, okay, then, yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna keep going then. Grab it, flip it over the finger, and do this here over the thumb, and then you. See how this looks like a P, and then you get your finger and then you grab that cord and then you pull this one down. See that? So now, after that initial one, now all these are gonna be like over the thumb. From now on, you're gonna grab it, and these are all gonna go over the thumb, because you're gonna just keep repeating. So you just make a loop on this side, and then you pull. You grab it, loop over the thumb, and pull. The only time you'll ever like go over your index finger is right when you start. So you pull, and see that? Does that look okay? Okay. Now I'm going to tell you the single most important part. I mean, once you get that part, there's one thing that you have to keep in mind. And I kid you not, guys, I know I was telling Laura Lee that my thumb almost fell off because I couldn't figure out what I was doing, and I kept doing it over and over and over, and like it kept coming out crooked and wonky. And I could not figure out, but I figured out what the deal is. What the most important part is to keep it from like getting all like crooked and stuff. Because I don't even know, because I wish I'd saved my crooked one, because it looks so bad compared to this. Because this one, I did it with Eslon 400, and it looks really, really cool. It has like a squarish like profile, whereas that other one that I taught a couple of weeks ago has like a like a triangular. But the most important part is, see, when you're grabbing this here, I'm really like, I really have a lot of tension on this part of the cord right here. So when you come in, you don't want this part to be like loose. See that? Because if you, this is where the problem comes in. You want to make sure that you have tension like right here. So when you pull this, it comes out nice and straight. And you could try it just to like see. You could do one where you're not putting a lot of tension on the cord here when you come in to grab it, and it will have like, it'll be look so horrible. See, and then my only problem, my only challenge at this point is if I leave my, see, I'm holding it here tight, and then I'm pulling. And then you just keep going. And this one is pretty forgiving in that, in what? Oh yeah, you could take it apart really easily. So let's say you know you've done your first one and it looks really, really crooked and you're not happy with it. It's real easy just to pull the threads apart. So you just come in here and pull. Okay. Can you use, you know what, Kim? Honestly, I don't know, because I think you would probably need 2 of them. And the, yeah, once you, I mean, I think like I said, what's the best cord to practice with? I would say leather. And the reason being is that you could see your results very, very quickly, as opposed to like Eslon 18, because I started doing a small one, which I'll tell you like the tips and tricks in just a minute. Okay, so there's like a small one, but let me put this aside so I don't get like ahead of myself. Okay, so once you get that, you're like, okay, I got it, because it's actually pretty straightforward. And the one thing that honestly I mess up on is like when I come back to it, like I just put it down. I don't know, am I supposed to do it this way? Or I forget like how to like start it up again. So my solution is just stick your finger in there and grab it one way or the other. If you do it like, if you go like this and that happens, that means you're on the right track. But if you do that and nothing happens, you pull the thing, that means you need to flip-flop your fingers over. That's the only like little thing I could come up with, because I know that like for macrame, if you know, I have that little thing, if you need to like do a moose knot, I mean like if you need to like, if you leave your work and you don't know if it's supposed to be a top or a bottom, you could look at the little bump. If it's on the right, you do a top knot. If it's on the left, you do a bottom or something like that. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So you just keep going. And okay, so now that you've got, you know, your thing going, the next thing, you know, you always ask yourself is like, oh, so what can I do with this? This is really, oh my goodness. Okay, this is really cool. Really, really cool. So let's say, I'm just going to show you a couple of things. Okay. So you come in here and you're like, I want to do something. I want to do that. Okay. So what you do is, boom, bring this over. And I believe, if I can remember correctly, I would do the moose coil knot with the one on top. Would that be a moose knot or a coil knot? I don't know. Usually the coil knot has, I don't know. It's like a hybrid. Okay, so I'm going to clip this right in there, just nice and close. And I'm going to clip this bottom one because I'm going to get this knot as close as possible. And as far as spacing and how many stitches you need to do, guys, I am still extremely like new to this, so I have no clue. I'm just like giving you guys like the basics right now. But maybe like with time, after I've made a few more things with this, I can give you more definitive answers. So then, you know, this knot, you just like squeeze and pull, just like that. Oops, squeeze and pull. All right. See that? And then you find the short one. Boom. And that's the one you'll slide your pearl on with, because remember that you need to make that coil knot. And I think if you're going to be adding coil knots, that little graphic that I showed you at the beginning is just for a straight bracelet that's plain. But if you're going to be adding coil knots, add 3 additional inches per knot that you have to make. So that's going to depend on, like, if you put 1 pearl or like 3. It's all going to depend. So then what you come in here and do is you make your other coil knot with the longer strand. So let's get that in there. Let's clip this here. And I'm just going to do this as close as I can to the pearl, because I don't know. I just have I know that I could probably like do it the other way, but I just have this like paranoid thing that if I don't do it nice and close, that it's not gonna, when I tighten it, it's not gonna be as perfect as it can be. So this is just like some options out there. Oh my God. Okay, do we have some stuck brains here? Oh, let me look at the comments. I want to say hi to you guys. I see Pat, Elizabeth. Oh my goodness. Michael, hi. Let's see. Rhonda Adair. Hey, girl. Judy. Let's see who we got in the house. I know we've got Tess Bar. Oh my God. Elizabeth, West Virginia. Yeah, okay. It is a little tricky. Okay, but check this out though. This is what's really cool about this. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. The interesting thing is you can go right back into that technique. So that's the only time where you'll, like, remember when I said that, you know, you're going to be using that same stitch over and over, but this is the only time that you'll actually like have to like restart the process, where you come back in here and you pull, and then you just keep going. So as far as oh my goodness, what happened? Oh yeah, too much tension, I guess. But do you know what I'm saying? You know what, Mary, I'll do it. I know it's kind of like weird. I'll do it again in just a couple of minutes. So like I said, the thumb part here is just going to be extremely like repetitive. So you just basically keep going. And once you learn this, it's actually pretty like fast. But like I said, the important thing is man, it's so important. And you'll know. I mean, Rhonda, she said that she's a perfectionist. I mean, once you see like, oh, it's crooked, then, you know, it's a lot easier to go back and make sure that you like keep that tension on the on this part here. And another thing that I did, I mean, I don't know that it helped, but, you know, I clipped these, you know, I'm not even gonna get into that, because I was trying everything to see if I could get even more tension. And I think just like being like cognizant of the fact that you have to keep tension. And I think what happened with me when I was doing this, I was watching the Olympics, and, you know, I was like paying more attention to, you know, the gymnasts doing their like backflips than I was like keeping tension on the cord. And I think that was probably my biggest problem. But see see how cool that looks? You see, just kind of like squeeze that in, and you just keep going. I'm going to do a couple of more because I actually like this bracelet, and I think I'm going to wear this today. So you just okay. And one thing, when you get to the end, you will have a lot of cord left over, because the unfortunate thing about this technique, The only drawback to it is that you do need a lot of cord for leverage. So that is the only problem with it. But the parts that you have left over, they're long enough that you could actually do like something else with. And I know that I did get a question on my Instagram page asking, like, what do you do with all those scraps? And one of these days, I'll show you all the different things I do with the scraps. So grab. I'll start this over, guys. Let me just get this last one. Let me measure this. Oh, and another thing. Let me like do something here. One thing about thicker leather that you need to be aware of, just because your wrist is 6 inches and your bracelet is 6 inches, when it's thicker, you're gonna have to make it longer. Do you see that? I mean, this right now is, I mean, it's almost like it's 6 inches. And I don't know, but the thicker something is, the longer you're gonna have to make it. Let me do a couple of more stitches here. And I think that, you know, when some people that I know, they're just starting out making a jewelry, they forget that, see, I'm running out of cord here. I must have done something wrong. I don't know, maybe, I don't know. Let me just do one more. See how I'm running out of leverage. That's the problem. You really need that that extra cord. Okay, let's see. Okay, so this is like, I want to demonstrate this just in case. Okay, so my wrist is like 6 inches. So here's 6. Let's say this is like the bracelet. See that? It goes over. This is 6 inches, but since it's so thick, see, it's shorter. So the best thing to do is just keep trying it on, because I mean, it's because, I don't know, it's it's a math thing, you know. I don't want to get into like math stuff, but the way I get the ring on this side, and this is actually another approach which I think is really cool. And let me just show you real quick. Let me grab a ring. And let's see, I want a smaller ring. Let's just say you say, I want a smaller ring. Let me see if I have one, because I've got all my rings and stuff here. Let me grab that one. I want to use that one. Okay, so let's say, and this, I don't think I've ever shown this, but it's really not a big deal. But one thing that you can do, instead of like folding both of the cords like through like I usually do, you can just fold one of them. Let's see. And then just keep the other one like off to the side, because once you like do the macrame binding knot, so basically what it does is it just makes this part like a little bit thinner, because you don't have 2 cords going through. And it holds equally as well. So let me come in here for those of you that are not familiar with the macrame binding knot. And and I'm going to show you. Let me do this real quick, because I want to at least finish this little project. But in the instructions, I don't mention a large hole pearl, because, you know, I just randomly decided to add that. And then on this side here, you could just maybe take put a. Oh yeah, my thing. I know that some of you know this, but let me get a pair of pliers here. But the clip only opens up so much, but one thing you can do to make it like open up a little bit more is like get your clip, just very gently, just kind of open it up just a little tiny bit. You don't want to like do it too much, because then it'll break. But the nice thing is it allows your clip to open up even more. So that means if you have a button that you want to get in there, now you can. See that? Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to come back in here. And I like, for macrame binding knots, I really like the wax jewelry cord in the 0.5. So you'll probably need about every time I do a binding knot or a slide knot, 16 inches just seems to be, oh my, Thomas Edison. Oh yeah, right. I wished. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to do it nice and super, like tight, nice and tight. That's the trick to like making this binding knot work. Just get it nice and snug. And you can get fancy with this like a Christie from Alaska does, because boy, you could make this part shorter and then make your binding knot longer, and you could add like beads on the outside, which would look really, really cool. And so you guys know what I'm saying. I mean, there's like so many different things you can do. And one thing I have not, oh yeah, you're welcome, Anissa. Sometimes I mention these things and I feel like, oh, I've said that, so many times, but I always repeat them in case somebody misses stuff, because, sometimes when you watch like videos like this, there's so much going on that it's really easy to miss like little things like that. And then, so one thing I'll do is just to make it extra secure. It's just a little additional step, but it makes such a huge difference, is I'll come back and just do a couple of macrames going the opposite way. Because that really, really helps. I'm going to go one here. Just maybe like 3 or 4 should do the job, but nice and tight. That's the trick to the binding knot working. Just do it nice and super tight. And okay, so let me get my wonderful thread thing. I hope this doesn't catch a fire, because I had to change batteries, because the other ones finally, after months, because I recommended those lithium batteries because they last forever. I think those are the only batteries I'm going to buy from now on, because even with rechargeable batteries, you put them on the charger and then, you didn't put it on right. And then you go back to get your so-called charged batteries. And then, one of them's, oh no, not one of them. All of them are dead, because you need to have all the batteries in it for all of it. It makes no sense for all of them to charge. Are you guys with me? Does that make sense? Uh-huh. Okay. So here we go. Oh, Gina, don't worry. It's okay. I'm gonna go over it again in just a second. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put the with the faux leather. Let's get I don't know. Maybe I'm wasting faux leather, but I don't know. I always like, in my brain, I just like have it as 12 inches. If you're nimble, maybe you can like figure out how to do it with less. I probably could get away with 10 actually. So I'm going to offset by 4, and then I'm going to make a moose knot on here again. And then what I'm going to make is one of those sliding knots that I love so much. So with the longer part, and I always offset by 4 inches, because it just works. And you guys know why I do the offset, right? Because if you don't, and you make your moose knot, your cords are going to be really off. So slide it down. Beautiful. Look at that. See that? All right, let's make the coil knot now. So I'm going to clip here, here, and about 5 or 6 inches should do. So let me just cut this right there. And see how I did? God, I swear, this board, it's so, just makes everything so easy. I don't know what the equivalent is, but I love it. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes I feel like I'm going to have a little bit of trouble getting that other cord through. I just like stick a needle in there, and then I use the eye of the needle to like help pop it through. See that? And then I tighten this nice and tight. And one tip that I have, because, okay, when I take this off, you're going to have these 3 strands, and it's really easy to accidentally cut the wrong one. So just to like let me know which one I need to cut, I'll put a knot right there, and then let's slide this down to the ends. And the reason, I think I've mentioned this before, but the reason I slide them all down is because on this coil knot, I need to melt these ends into balls. And you don't want those melted spots anywhere near your finished piece. Because these, you know what? Now I remember why I make this long, because of those. Okay. I need to melt these. Let's see, where is, you know, I still don't know whether a lighter is better than a thread burner. I don't know. Let's try both and see what happens. Okay, that did a very good job. Okay. Oof. Hey, let me get my fan blowing because I don't like the smoke in my face. All right, is it blowing on me? Yeah. Okay, so now let's try the lighter. Let's see which one works better. I'm gonna guess. Okay, let's try her out. I guess this guy was a little less dramatic than the lighter, but then again, it's the only reason it gets as hot as it does is because I do have those lithium batteries. So you know you can go either way. So now you guys know the routine. I'm gonna pull this, and it's gonna be hard to like pull because it's got that. It's probably melted. So you could just get a pair of like pliers and just pull. There you go. See how it like melted all this part off? So you slide this over a few times. Oh no, Pat won't be here. Okay, so then what I do here is I put an overhand knot, and I do the same thing on this side, and then I put beads and then 2 more overhand knots. So just to give it, you know, a little bit of interest. So you can like use your awl or just your favorite way to like scoot the bead down. I mean the knot down. Because there are just like so many different. Okay, put your bead and then another knot and then cut it, and then boom, it should look like this. So I used these beads that were the show a few weeks ago with the buttons that were on the show a few weeks ago. And see, so you could like do it different. Okay, now you guys are wondering like, well, how do you do 2 colors? It's actually, it's pretty easy. So the, I don't have the absolute I think the, actually, I think the numbers for this one should almost be the same. Because the only thing different, just do half and half. So if your bracelet, if I say 70 inches for a 30, I mean 70 inches for a 6-inch, then go 35, 35, but add an inch. Because what you need to do, like on the ends here, since it is 2 colors, you'll need to fold it over and then do a binding knot to get them going. Or the other thing you can do, which I did, let's get 2 colors here, which is another option, which I did. Where did I do that? Let's see, was it this one? Was it that one? That one? Nope. Oh yeah, here it is. See, on this one, what I did was I just put a simple overhand knot, then I started my weaving, and then I put another overhand knot. Oh, you know what the cool thing, actually, this is really, really cool. Forget that I even said anything about measuring, because check this out. Let's just pretend like we have our 2 together here, okay? You don't even need to know how much you need because you work right off the spool. All right. Okay, so if you missed this at the beginning of the show, guys, I'm going to show how you start again. Boom. So you have your hand, you have it like a, I don't know, like bang bang, like when you're a kid, stick them up. So only when you're starting, you grab this one, and then you're going to flip it over your index finger, just like that. And then with these two fingers, you're going to grab the knot right there, or whatever, if you put a clasp on. And then on this side, you're going to like grab it, but you're not going to do the finger. You're going to go over the thumb. See that? And then you just sit there and wait. Yeah. See this? See, no measuring. This is even better. And then you just, so from now on, you're just going to be using your index finger and these two here. You just wrap it around your thumb from now on and pull out. See that? And like I said, if you missed it at the beginning, grab, like wrap it around your thumb. You feel like, I mean, once you get started, you kind of sort of feel like a little machine. Like, but remember that keeping this tension is going to keep it from being like all crooked. Look, you know what? I'm going to do like a few where I'm not going to pay attention to the, you know, like that tension there. And let's see if it gets weird. I'm just going to pretend like I did the other day, like I'm just watching TV and just thinking that I'm doing this like so right. And let's see what happens. It's probably not going to get crooked now because I said that. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, you can see right here, there's a, that one right there got crooked. I mean, it's not that, and that's what happens. It gets like progressively like worse. But the nice thing about this, if you have a stitch you didn't like, it's so easy to undo. But like I mentioned, the trickiest part for me is like when I come back to it, like what do I do? Like so what I do is I just go like this. I'm just gonna like stick any finger in there, and then I'm just gonna like try to resume. And let's see if that works. If I do that and then I pull, oh, see, it's not pulling. So that means I did it wrong. So that means I need to like do it the other way, like that. Yeah, it's kind of weird, I tell you. So you come back in and. You guys got this? Do you think you got this? Oh, thank you, Judy. Yes. Ooh, I got it perfectly. Okay. All right. Oh, you didn't get it, Michael? Okay. So yeah, and I want to see you guys. I mean, I know that those of you that are really good with the leather, Tess, Rhonda, let's see who else. Oh, Sarah, North Carolina. I'm gonna like be watching for like what you guys are gonna do, because I know that it's gonna be, whatever you guys do is gonna be really cool, because your work with leather is just like so good. See that? And one thing that, this is just an idea, but look at this. Okay, so I made this one. I had, you know, enough leather, but not that much. Oh, Tess skipped out? What? No. Robin, let's see, where is she? Oh, Tess left. Oh, when she heard her name, she's like, So you can use this as a component piece, because, you know, I see like the work that that Christy does, and she puts like, she'll have like leather, and then she'll like transition and put like some braided stuff. And I was thinking, wouldn't that be cool if this is just like a component, and then you have like something else going on? So I just want to like leave you with all these like different ideas of things you can do. But one second, one thing I want to talk about is this, because since I have a few seconds left over, Oh, the vineyards need watering. If we use Eslon, oh, like, you know what? Since no, if if you use Eslon, no, actually, this let me see this. Let me see what size I use. No, you don't, um, Judy. This I just did with the. Is this Eslon? I don't even know anymore. Is this Eslon 18 or 400? I think. Okay, this is the 400. And no, no, you don't. And this one here is the Eslon 18. And the only look how cool that looks. The only tip that I do have, and let me move all this stuff over. But maybe this tip I was going to share with you about the Griffin, I'll probably have to save it for next week. But one thing that I do recommend, because when I was doing this, it got kind of like, it felt like it wasn't as smooth going as I wanted it to be. But one thing that really, really, really helped is the rubbing the cord, the Eslon with beeswax, because beeswax will just, no, I'm sorry, nix that. No, not beeswax. I meant paraffin. Paraffin makes the cord slippery. Beeswax makes it sticky. Sometimes you want sticky, sometimes you want slick. And this, you can find it in the canning department. It's very, like, it's not toxic at all. This stuff is amazing. I love it. But if you just rub it like on your cord like this, when you come in, let's see if I could do this. Like because I did say that my big problem was coming back to it. And okay, let's see if I got this. Okay. Okay, got that. And did I get that right? Here, see, I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah, right there. Okay, did I do it? Yes. So I think, and always get like a good grip on it, like right here, really important. So I'm squeezing like right there. So the paraffin on here just makes it like so much easier to when you're pulling it through. It just makes it nice. It's almost like you put like oil on it, because when you're pulling it, it just the friction, it feels kind of gross on your hands. So the size of the thread makes a difference. Yeah, you know what? It really, really does. I've tried like every thread. I've tried wax jewelry cord, leather, flat braided cord, and they all look really, really cool. And let me see. If I have anything here that I can really like use to drive you guys like totally crazy. I did make a necklace, and one of these days I'll have to do like a whole I don't know what happened to it. It's gone. But I'll have to do like this whole like ginormous like artisan series, like on the different things you can do with this, because it really, you could branch out into like 1,000 different directions. I wish I had this one necklace. Maybe I was too afraid to show it. I said, no, that's probably what it was. I didn't want to like overwhelm you guys. But this can really go into some really interesting transitions. See, so let's check that out. See? And this is the Eslon, the 18. And then it's just amazing how different one looks from the other. Oh my gosh, is my time almost up? How much time do I have left? Because I don't want to go over. Ooh, oh my God, it's time for me to go. Is that right? No, we got a minute, because I'm looking at my clock and it says 10:59. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. It's definitely worth going back and watching it. But the important thing is like this. And then I think one thing that's really helpful is putting these little marker things on your fingers, just these two fingers, just so you know, how to Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Mary. I want to, thank you all for joining the show. It really means so much to me. There's no other place I'd rather spend than with you guys here on Thursdays at 10. So, all right, guys, my time is up. I'll see you next week. Bye.